The moon is full and I am slightly more feral than usual. So let's start a new series. Also, do you know how many times it took for me to stack that stuff to get the milk chocolate ink to show? It's embarrassing how long that took me. Roll the intro. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome or welcome back. It's Care, also known as pens.inks.icedcoffee across various social media platforms. I want to start a new series, and I'm going to title it Want This, Got That, where we cover a limited edition or maybe an ink that's a little bit more difficult to find and compare it to something we may already have in our existing collection. Now, if it's a discontinued ink that was discontinued years ago, unless one of you want to provide me with a sample, it's going to be very difficult for me to look through my ink collection and find something that will work. So I'm instead going to focus on things that are maybe just a little bit more difficult to easily pick up. All right, let's dive down into the swatching. The inspo behind starting this Want This, Got That series is the Kobe ink partnership with the Felissimo Chocolate Museum. They came out with 3 different inks, one of which is the Kobe milk chocolate. There's strawberry chocolate, which I featured a few videos back, and then there's a bitter chocolate. Now, the bitter chocolate is a very... It's a pretty cool toned dark brown, but I feel like that one is very easy to dupe. Very easy to dupe. I don't think that the milk chocolate is quite as easy. Now I do have over off to the right side, my right side, that way, I have several inks that I think come close. I don't know, honestly, if any of them are a perfect match. They may not be. But I thought this would be a fun way to explore and maybe shop our own collection. So I'll talk about tools as we go through them. Obviously the inks are a tool. The paper that I'm using is the Hobonichi Cousin circa 2024. So it's the newer paper. It's not the good paper from, I think that was 2022 and before. But this is from 2024. It works well for me. I don't have any problems with it. I'll get the occasional like bleed through, but I don't have like a lot of feathering or anything, so it performs good enough. It performs good enough. It's not quite the Tomoe River paper of old, but it'll do. So I'm going to start by swatching with the milk chocolate very heavily along the top here, and I'll probably also work it into the body of the swatches, but just to allow as much room as possible for other swatches, I'm just doing it this way rather. And I do have a glass of water up there, so if you hear kind of a glass tinkling sound, that's what it is. It's the water. So this one is the Kobe Inks Milk Chocolate. A side note, I really like how Kobe inks smell. They smell not unlike Sailor inks. I don't know. Is it weird to smell my fountain pen inks? Probably. Am I going to apologize? Nope. So next ink we have is the Sailor Ink Studio 373. And already I can tell that this is not a great match, but that's okay, because this is all about kind of going off memory, trying to recall what I have and what might be similar. I have 280 somewhere, and I feel like 280 would have matched better. I couldn't find it, so it might, I thought I had a sample of 280. It might be that I have a full bottle, because I didn't look where I keep my full bottles stored. I only looked at my sample, my little sample section. I'm trying to kind of fit as many of these as I can. So we'll look at Sailor, or not Sailor Ink Studios. Let's look at a few other Sailor inks because I have them kind of aligned by brand from how I pulled them out of my little swatch drawer. So this one is Sailor Manyo Akamai. And also probably not the right color. But I don't know, sometimes the dry down is really where it gets me, so we'll see. We're not counting her out yet. So, Sailor Manyo Akamai. I thought I had one more Sailor to go in here, but it looks like I don't. So next we'll look at Inkibara Brown Pink. Okay, we might be getting a bit closer. Not that close. Is it brown pink? Yeah, brown pink. My thoughts behind this are I spend an indecent amount of time influencing other people. And I always joke not to follow me for financial advice. And honestly, don't. This is not undoing that. But sometimes it is important to reflect on what we already have. And that's sort of the point of this video is thinking about things we already have in our collection. And whether or not adding something new to it is going to be an addition, or is it going to be a repeat? Let's see, this one is Wearing Gold Don Quixote. Went a little heavy there. That's okay. Wearing Gold. Don Quixote. Funny story about Don Quixote. When I was about 13, I bought the book with every intention to read it. And I'm pretty sure I still have the book. And I still haven't read it in its entirety. I read bits of it. It's a long ass book. So why don't we I'm going to put another swatch of the milk chocolate here. Just so that there's a little bit more, it touches more inks for comparison purposes. And then this one is Airbond's, is it Terre de Feu? Terre de Feu? Terre de Feu? Oh, that's great. Now that looks like the closest wet swatch. Andoryllium Tulip Moth Warm. God, Andoryllium inks are just so well behaved. I love Andoryllium inks. Tono and Limbs, Chocolate Cosmos. Chocolate Cosmo? Plural or not, I'm not sure. Tono. This one's pretty close too on the wet swatch. Again, a lot can change between now and when they dry. And this one is Diamine Wilted Rose. It's from the Black Ink Vent. Ink Vent 2024. Wilted Rose looks like it might be pretty close as well. Another Diamine, we have Masquerade, which is from the Purple Ink Vent. Now this one does have shimmer. I intentionally did not shake it up to mix in any of that shimmer, so there may be like a little bit of glitter in it, but there shouldn't be a ton. Because milk chocolate doesn't have glitter in it, you always have the option in your shimmer inks not to, shake it around and disperse those shimmer particles and just go with the flat color. Let's see if that works. Ah, I found that other Sailor ink. I knew I had 3 in here. So the last ink for our little comparison's sake will be Sailor Yorimiku Kitsune Biore. Which in wet, I know it doesn't look the same, but if I remember correctly, this one dries down a good bit warmer than it goes down wet. So wet, it looks like a very neutral or even cool leaning light to mid-tone brown. But I'm pretty sure this dries a warmer tone. I don't think it's going to be quite the right pink. I'm just going to write Sailor. Okay, Sailor Kitsune Biore. And just because I can, I'm going to put the I'm going to put the milk chocolate down here as well. Ooh, I thought of one more. The last one I thought of is Troublemaker Rodeo or Sepia Hour. I'm not sure which one would have been better, but I went with the one that I found first, and that was Rodeo. And I'm just going to abbreviate Troublemaker with the TMKR. All right, we will take a closer look at these once everything's all dry. All right, we are all dry, so let's take a closer look at our little comparison here and see what we have. So I'll just zoom in row by row and take a look at it that way. All right, so here's what we're trying to match. So in this first row, I don't know that any of them quite fit the bill. Akamai is not far off, but milk chocolate has a little bit more of a rusty chocolatey color. Inkybara brown pink in the swatch, maybe some similar shading, but in writing it's a lot darker. So Don Quixote, again the milk chocolate and the Terre de Fou. I don't speak French and it shows. None of these quite match in terms of tone. Andoryllium Tulip Moth Warm, Tono & Limbs Chocolate Cosmos, Diamine Wilted Rose. I will say that in writing, Wilted Rose is very close. In the swatch, Tono & Limbs is quite close as well. Honestly, Andoryllium is pretty close as well. It's a little bit darker than the writing. Obviously, the swatch is darker. But the writing sample is just a little bit darker. Wilted Rose, I think, so far is probably the closest. And since we also have a decent swatch of it here, Masquerade, the swatch itself looks very close, but the writing sample looks like it's pulling a little bit more of that purpley color rather than the warm kind of orangey brown. Kitsune Biore, again, in the writing sample is pretty close, but the swatch itself isn't. And then Troublemaker Rodeo, the swatch is not, but the writing is. So there's not quite a perfect match in here, but let's go with top three. So here's what we're matching, right? So here, here, and here. I wanted to make sure we had multiple examples across the page. I would say that in writing, Chocolate Cosmos, Wilted Rose, and Rodeo are very similar. And if you're not painting with it, that might be enough. In terms of the swatch, Wilted Rose is pretty close. It doesn't have quite the same amount of shading. It could also be, though, that I didn't get enough of Wilted Rose on my tool when I swatched with the glass drink stirrer. It's entirely possible that I just didn't have a wet enough swatch, and that might be why it's not showing up so close, like with the shading, because there is a little bit of shading in here. The writing sample is pretty dead on, though. Chocolate Cosmos, I think if you got your hands on that from Tono & Limbs, I think it's the Friendship line, and it's available at Yoseka and at Van Ness. It may be available at other places. Those are just the two that I know for sure because I think I bought this one from Van Ness. No, I bought it from Pen Chalet. I bought this one from Pen Chalet, I believe. And Troublemaker Rodeo, I think these three are probably the top contenders. Honorable mention to Diamine Masquerade. It's close enough in the swatch, but the writing sample kind of pulled a little bit more of that mauve-y tone rather than the warm tone. So let me know what you think. Do you have one in your collection that would match better? Because if you do, I'm happy to try it. I'll pick it up. I hope you guys are liking my idea for a new series here. If there's another ink you can think of you want me to take a look at, let me know. If I have it or can get a sample of it, get my hands on a bottle, I'll try. And I'll see what I can match for you. I loved doing this, so I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did enjoy this video, please feel free to give the video a thumbs up. It helps me out a ton when you interact with my videos. I do my best to respond to all the comments that I get. And if ever I don't respond, I'm not ignoring you. I just didn't see it yet. If you want to follow me around on future inky journeys, future series I may come up with, because I have a couple rolling around in my big old brain, then hit that subscribe button, then come back. I'd love to have you. I hope you are having a fantastic day wherever you are in the world. Remember to be kind to one another, stay classic, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.